Hello, MPL student, Form 2 student. I'm Mr. Leung, and then is the population growth episode for your revision of the first term examination. Okay, and for your population, first of all, what is population? Just like growth and also flooding, you have to tell me what is growth about, what is flooding about, and what is population about. Population is about the total number of people living in a place. Okay, so which include how it is going to affect the population size of particular place or particular countries, and which is number of birth minus the number of death. Okay, and we will call as the lateral increase. Okay, and then number of people moving out and number of people moving in, and it is called the net migration. Okay, so you have to learn how to calculate this. Okay, I think I've showed you in my lesson, and I'm just going to show you by one of them only. So how to calculate the birth rate, which is quite simple, which is talking about the number of death, sorry, number of birth. Okay, birth rate. Birth rate 計 number of death 黐線 ，OK number of birth OK which is like this, and then the total population, and then you can see we are just going to do some calculation by dividing the number of birth by the total population, and then you may have this figure, isn't it? No, I write too many zero, just two zero. Okay, but why? You may say, oh, it's 5.1%. How come it's 5.1? This is not a percent. It is talking about 1 to 1,000. Okay, I have told you in the lesson already, but I will better remind you once again. Okay, and then you can see if we are going to divide those birth rate with the population, and then we can find out the birth rate and then also the death rate, and then it is about the rate of the lateral increase may is the birth rate minus death rate, so it can be having some minus figure, negative figures. Okay, it's okay, no worry. Okay, but reminder number one, bear in mind we are going to do it in a 1 to 1,000. Okay, don't give me percentage because it's too hard to present in percentage, because for those LDC we are going to have those several percent birth rate, but for most of the countries it's just 1 to 1,000 is a better figure to present. Okay, so this is the end of the unit 1, and this is the most essential thing for you to really have a look about the population. And then what's next? The overpopulation situation about the China, which you can see what is this. This is talking about the evolution of the birth rate and death rate throughout these 50 decades, these 50 years of almost 60 years. Okay, and then you can see there's both of them are rolling down. Okay, both of them are dropping, no matter it's birth rate or death rate. But you can see at the very beginning the high birth rate is encouraged by the newly established government, and it can be regarded as a baby boom. Okay, and then the falling death rate because of the improvement of healthcare, because we are having a better medical services, better hospital, so on and so forth. Okay, and then the birth rate is the death rate is falling also. Okay, so both of them are decreasing. Okay, high rise of death due to famine right here, which is talking about. Okay, and because in the 70 decades there are lots of natural hazards, and then you may find that in the Chinese history also. Okay, high birth rate after a famine also a kind of baby boom. Okay, and you can see the birth rate has drastically decreased while compared with the death rate. Okay, death rate is decreasing, but the decreasing rate is relatively mild. Okay, but for the birth rate, it is having a very large dropping right here. Okay, you can see dropping a lot for the birth rate. Okay, it's because there are some huge government manipulation right here, which is called the one-child policy, and also encouraging the late marriage and one-child policy. Okay, but what you may ask, why there are still a lot of population? Why there are still a lot of birth rate? Because the base of the population is still large. Because baby boom, in that time, just like Mr. Leung is born in 1982, which is just the beginning of one-child policy. Okay. How about my age? My dad's age. My dad born on 1949, which is exactly the baby boom taking place. Okay. And then on that time when Mr. Leung having Form 1 age, I think I have told you before in terms of 2B or 2D, but I just tell you once again. In my life of secondary, in my class, I have 40-something people, 44 people. Okay, and right now, most of them, no matter is DSS school or the normal school, I think is 30. It's very occasional to have a class that's larger than 40 students. Okay, most of you having 30-something, 20-something, so on and so forth. So accordingly, the size of the population is decreasing. But on that time, why we are having a lot of children like Mr. Leung on that time? Because originally our dad and our mom is having a lot larger population base. Okay，我阿爸阿媽嗰啲好多人，因為佢哋就係 exactly 係 baby boom 嗰個時間出世噶嘛，咁嗰度人好多。OK，baby boom is talking about here. So, if all the baby boom generation give birth of children, it is also very large. Okay, it's still very large. Okay, so we cannot decrease it suddenly. Although there are one-child policy already. Okay, but right now you can see. Right now, Mr. Leung start to give can be a father if I'm not lucky enough, but right now you can see the people is having fewer and fewer. The baby is having fewer and fewer since the population that's born on the establishment of one-child policy is going to be fewer. So accordingly, the population base is fewer, and then the baby born by these one-child policy generation is fewer also. Okay, so right now you can see China is having a very low natural increase already. While compared with Mr. Leung, Asia, wow, very horrible, very large, isn't it? So you have to know that how the evolution of the natural increase rate in China is going to be. Okay, and this one is the population pyramid of China. And then you can see population pyramid of China is somewhat like a bell shape, but I cannot say it's totally a bell shape because it's a bit irregular between female and male, and then also the base is a bit too low. Okay, too narrow. Okay, so what is population pyramid? So bear in mind, population pyramid is used to represent the population structure. Okay, 人口金字塔攞嚟做咩嘅？係 reflect 嗰個人口嘅結構嘅。OK，and then what is happening right here? It is talking about the age group of the China is largest for the 25 to 29 years old, just like which is exactly also the offspring from the baby boom generation. Okay, just like Mr. Leung. Okay, Mr. Leung, although Mr. Leung is a bit older than this generation, Mr. Leung is 35 to 39 now. Okay, but you can see it's also related to the baby boom. Okay, since the baby boom giving birth more child, and then on that time still are having a lot of child, but and also under the one child policy, the sex ratio is imbalanced because the traditional values of the China may want boys more than girls, so it's a bit imbalance for the sex ratio. Okay, and then this is the dependent population for those who are under 15 and also above 64 will be regarded as the dependent population. Okay, and it's quite large, but not yet best situation. Okay, just like Hong Kong Japan the number will be larger. Okay， 日本香港啲人口老化得犀利啲咧，咁嗰個 dependent population 會大啲嘅嚇。But right now China is still okay and then but you can project that the for later China will also having a lot of elder population problem as well. Okay, because the one child policy, the younger children will become older, and then the baby boom generation, this generation will become older. So accordingly, unless you are going to kill them all, but it's not going to happen, right? So accordingly, this kind of population, this generation is going to be a dominant population, and then more cost will be provided for the taking care of the elderly, so it can be projected. Okay, so how about is China overpopulated? Yes, for sure, because too many people sharing limited resource, and then the population is exceeding the carrying capacity. 地少人多啦, in short, which is talking about too many land, too many population, too few land. Okay, what are the problem it may bring? Okay, deforestation, because we are going to demand more from the natural resource as well as the food. Okay, so we have to do a lot of deforestation. Pollution become more serious. Okay, how about socio-economics problems? Shortage of housing, low, just like nowadays Hong Kong, we need to have more, open up more land for the housing development. Quality of living will be lowered. Okay, and then unemployment, it will cause the poverty, social unrest, which may cause the violence. Okay, so accordingly, what are the methods that China can do with the overpopulation? First of all, one child policy. One child policy, which is talking about 媽媽只生我一個, give one children only for family. Okay, and then it is quite successful because when Mr. Leung's stapling in China is most of them are the only son or only daughter in the family. So that it can show that it's quite successful indeed. Okay, and then it can reduce the population, dependent population somehow. But what are the social problems? It can it enlarge the gender imbalance of China. Okay, so you can find that some of the Hong Kong people going to have some of the Hong Kong girls is having a mainland boyfriend is because the mainland boyfriend is the mainland males is having more than the females. They may lead to find another girls in the other areas. Not just Hong Kong, it is also in the Russia, different kinds of countries. Okay, you can also find different pairs that is made up of different nationality. Okay, many children are too self-centered. Wow, seems talking about Form 2 student, right? Poor interpersonal skills. Why? Don't be angry so easily. Don't quarrel with your friends easily. Okay. Heavy burden. As they have to take care more elderly later. they are unable to support their family. The government have to provide more resource to taking care of the old guys. Okay, just like here. And then how about hybrid rice? Hybrid rice, as I said before, this one is Yunong Ping, and he is very good at making hybrid rice, 雜交水稻, okay? And then the hybrid rice is shorter than usual, and then it can give rise to 20% of the yield, okay? So if we can grow more effective food, and then we can have more, we can feed more people with a fewer land, okay? It's also successful. And then the government can also diversify the power resource, just like nuclear power lah, renewable energy, just like water HEP lah, just like Sansa Dam lah, as we have talked about this in the episode 1. Okay, and then it can help to reduce the population problem, the demand of the resource. Okay, so finally, Unit 3. Okay, Unit 3, we are talking about also the evolution of different birth rate and death rate, but it's also a differentiation between MDC and LDCs. Okay, what is MDC? More developed countries. And then LDC is talking about the less developed countries. And this transition model is talking about the birth rate and death rate of a place change over time as the society developed. And for example, for stage 1, high birth rate, high death rate. Why? Because traditional belief wants more children. And then also the medical service is not good. And then for stage 2, the death rate is decreasing because the improvement of healthcare taking place. And then for stage 3, the birth rate also decreasing. Okay, why? Because the families tend to have fewer children, just like nowadays Hong Kong, and then they want fewer children now. Okay, but your father may got several brother and sister, or maybe your grandpa or grandma is having several brother and sister. But for your father or yourself is not going to have that much siblings. Okay, so this is the differences between LDC and MDCs. Okay, because previously China is LDC, but right now we are tending to become an MDC. Okay, how about the stage 4 and stage 5? Stage 4 is talking about low birth rate and also low death rate. And then low birth rate, low death rate, which is talking about a better healthcare and also a better family planning. Late marriage, improving status of women because they don't want to get married so early, and then they are not going to give birth of children so early. Okay, so the birth rate will be reduced. Okay, the last reminder for you, okay, with this one. The difference between different countries' population pyramid. This one, MDC. MDC look like a barrel shape. Okay, look like a barrel shape. And the LDC is talking about triangular shape. But why? MDC is having fewer children and having more elderly, okay, because the better healthcare, and then the people can live longer. And then LDC is having more higher birth rate, and then the people is not going to live that long. Okay, I always told in my class, which is talking about, you don't need to ask Mr. Leung to die. Instead, you can ask Mr. Leung go to LDC. Okay, Sudan, Nigeria, okay, those kind of countries may have the life expectancy of 50 something or 40 something, and then Mr. Leung, if Mr. Leung go there, maybe die easily. Okay, because Mr. Leung is almost 40. Okay, so this is the comparison between two kinds of countries, and you can see MDC is low death rate, low dependency ratio, low lateral increase, high life expectancy. How about country B? High birth rate, high death rate, high dependency ratio, a lot of children have to be taken care, high lateral increase, life expectancy is low. Okay, and then what are the problem for the MDC if the population pyramid is in bell shape, we may have a shortage of labor's problem. Just like Hong Kong nowadays, we are not having enough workers, so that we may need some foreign domestic workers or foreign workers in the construction sites, so on and so forth. Okay, the expanding elderly population also providing a great pressure on the medical care and also the social service. Okay, how about the country P? Not enough food lah. Okay, housing, education, medical service, and also job opportunities, because the large population, overpopulation will occur lah, and then food shortage may taking place. Okay, and there may be some DBQ for you to drill, and you are suggested to doing so, and I will take another YouTube later, okay, to explain the DBQ, okay, and also the essay that's in the workbook, okay. So to sum up, yeah, I almost forgot one thing. I want to for the population topic, I would like to sum up by a graph which is already shared in my Facebook already. Wait a minute, right here, yeah, right here, this one. Okay, I would like to share this one, but wait a minute, let it be load. And this one is talking about the mean age of the different countries, and you can see LDC African 18 years old. The mean age of the world of this country mainly 18 years old. Okay, close to half of the world's kids will live in Africa. Wow, so horrible, so many. Okay, many people living in the Africa, many children live in the Africa, which is also reflecting that the bell shape, the triangular shape, a lot of children, okay, a lot of children in the African country. Okay, how about the more developed countries? And you can see Europe, 42 years old for the mean age. Okay, and then for the Canada also 42 years old. So the MDC tends to be having a larger. Wow, Japan so old. Okay, 47 years old. Okay, which is the oldest among the rest of the world. Okay, and you can see this is the situation about the whole world population, and that is for the population chapters. And you can last reminder, you can find out most of them, the youngest countries mean age is in Niger, Mali, okay, which is the African country. Okay, the oldest will be the Japan, Morocco, Germany, Italy, so on and so forth. So this is all about the population. See you.